Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about 10 French words I learned since moving to France. And before I begin, I would like to ask any of those who haven't subscribed yet to please go ahead and subscribe. And to all of those who enjoyed today's video, please do give it a like down below. Now getting into the list, I studied French for 10 years before moving to France in 2012. And despite 10 years of formal French training, there were still many words that I didn't know upon arriving to France, obviously. But some of these words might have been useful for me to know prior to arriving. So hopefully this list will be able to help you guys out. And I'll surely be making more videos like this because there are hundreds of words that I learned moving to France that I didn't learn in a traditional classroom setting. So without further ado, let's get started. Number one on the list is bosser. Bosser is a verb which means travailler, to work. So bosser is a very useful word because obviously work is a very important part of our lives in society. And you'll hear this word often. So an example would be, je ne peux pas, je vais aller bosser. So I can't, I have to go work. Or je dois bosser ce soir, I have to work this evening. And going along with bosser, we also have le boulot. Boulot is a synonym for le travail, so it's the noun for work. An example would be, j'ai du boulot, I have work, j'ai du travail. So boulot is the noun equivalent of bosser. Number two is dégueulasse. Dégueulasse literally means disgusting. Now I put this word on here because in school we always learn dégoûtant. And dégoûtant can also mean sort of disgusting, but it's not the same. So dégoûtant is normally in a case where there's a situation that's really, it's a bummer, c'est dégoûtant. It's a real bummer. But dégueulasse is really in the context of a situation that grosses you out, like talking about food or a smell or something really repulsive or repugnant that somebody or something does. You could say c'est dégueulasse. In that case, oh, that's nasty. That's really nasty. Number three on my list, I put la clope. So la clope is a noun. It means la cigarette, a cigarette. So this is a good word because you have a lot of smokers worldwide, and in France you're bound to hear this word quite a bit. So you won't be surprised when somebody comes up to you and says, Excusez-moi, est-ce que vous avez une clope? Or even better, they might say, je peux vous piquer une clope? Meaning, the first one meaning, excuse me, do you have a cigarette? And the second one being, can I snag a cigarette from you? So une clope is a really good word, la clope, a cigarette. Number five on my list, ça craint. So ça craint is a verbal phrase. It comes from the verb craindre. Literally speaking, craindre means to fear. But in this context, conjugated in the singular form with ça craint, it literally means something equivalent in English to that sucks, or that really sucks. Ah, ça craint. A second meaning would also be when a situation when in English you might say that's really not good. What's an example? Would be you just lost $2,000 and you have to pay an upcoming expense, and it's going to be a really tough situation. You could say, "Ooh, ça craint," meaning like, yeah, this is really not good. I'm in a bad situation. So that's ça craint. So it means that sucks or that's not good. Number six, and this is not in the literal sense. Ça caille. Ça caille means it's freezing out. But doesn't necessarily mean that it's literally freezing out. It can be used in an exaggerated way. In Marseille, let's say, for example, it's in the summer. Normally the summers are hot, but it's a windy night and it's much cooler than a typical summer night. You might have some people say, ooh, ça caille, meaning it's frisky out, or it's cool out, it's pretty chilly out. That's a good equivalent. So ça caille is a really good way to express when it's a bit colder than you might have expected or would have hoped. So it's freezing out, it's chilly out, it's a bit frisky out, ça caille. Number seven is a very good one, which I had never heard before coming to France. Papoter. Papoter, I had learned in school, bavarder. But papoté is even better because papoté is used in in the situation where you're chit-chatting. I was chit-chatting with somebody, or I was shooting the breeze with somebody. You could say, je papotais avec quelqu'un. I was chit-chatting with somebody. J'ai croisé un ami et on papotait pendant... on papotait dans le métro. So you say, I ran into a friend and we were chit-chatting in the metro station or in the subway. Number 8 on my list is déconner. Déconner, I had always learned in school before coming to France. I used almost 100% of the time blaguer, which I've been told is very Parisian. Blaguer is classic French, but the Parisians tend to like this word more than elsewhere. It's a very traditional, it's a very, classic French word, blaguer. It can also mean plaisanter, meaning to be playing around or teasing. So if somebody says je déconne, it means, je plaisante or je blague. So I'm joking around, I'm only teasing, I'm messing around. You can also use it in a different sense. Arrêtez de déconner means, quit messing around or whatnot. So that's the second sense. Arrêtez de déconner. Number 9 is machin. And these last two words I chose because they're good filler words, and they're good words to help make your French more fluid. So machin is an equivalent, it's a synonym for un truc or a thing. So you can use this word when you don't know, it's useful if you don't know a word of something, and you can point to it and say, est-ce que tu peux me passer ce machin là? So could you pass me this thing over there, please? You can also use it when you're trying to think about, you're talking about a person but you can't remember the name or the word's not coming to you. You can say, ah, tu sais, ce machin-là, il m'a dit. Ah, this guy or girl, she told me. Or you could say, c'est quoi son nom, machin chose? What's his name? That guy or gal, or literally thing, but in this case you can use it also for people. And number 10 is the word genre. So genre literally means genre or type. Genre we learn in the US in the French. We learn the French word to mean a type or a genre of something, but we don't learn it as this filler word. Genre is the equivalent of like in the US when you use like as a filler word. So like, for example, genre, par exemple. So genre is the equivalent of like. This can be a very good word when you're looking for your words or when you're trying to, add some fluidity to your French. This can be a very good word. I say that with a word of caution. Don't use it too much, because just like a middle school girl in the US saying like every 2 seconds, using genre too much, too frequently in your French, it can be a bit childish. It's less classy. So genre can be good, but be careful not to use it too much. So an example for genre, we could say, j'aime bien sortir, genre aller au cinéma, aller en boîte, aller au bar, aller dans les parcs, etc. So I like to go out, like, for example, going to the cinema, going to the club, going to the bars, going to the park, etc. Alright guys, so once again, if you like the video, please do give it a like and leave a comment below if you found any of these words interesting or had any further questions with these words. I'm going to write them in the description so that you can see how they're spelled, and I'll also try and include some examples. And I'm sure they're going to make some more videos on this subject because, like I said, there's hundreds of words that I've learned since moving to France that would have definitely been useful to have learned in a classroom setting prior to coming to France. So there's lots of examples and I think they're useful. So please subscribe to be able to see those upcoming videos, and leave a comment below, as I said, to let me know if you have any other videos or any other subjects on the French language or living in Marseille, living in France in general. I'd be happy to discuss in the comments and hopefully make more videos on those subjects. All right, thanks guys.